We're going to get started on the back. So go ahead and come to lie down. And as you position yourself onto the floor, let your feet rest to the ground and scoot your hips and heels close into one another. And then let your knees touch and move your feet towards the outer edges of the mat. So when your knees buckle in and your feet move away, you should find a release in the low back. You can rest your arms by your sides. You can rest your hands onto the torso. Slightly dip your chin towards your chest. And take a few centering breaths, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and attend them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. For today's practice, we're going to be welcoming the opposites of feeling and emotion. Because every feeling and emotion comes paired with its opposite. Hot can't exist without cold. Fear can't exist without courage. Sadness can't exist without happiness. And conflict can't exist without its opposite, peace. So even in today's practice, I'm going to provide options. If you seem to like to push yourself, always in a hurry, or wants to feel as much sensation as possible, I'm going to invite you to do the opposite and allow yourself to come into postures that are going to help you just relax into the shape. For those that like to be gentle and stay in the comfort zone, I'll invite you to do some postures that will provide a little bit more intensity. Just know that these are options and it's ultimately your choice. Go ahead and toe heel your feet in towards one another. So those that are going to try their best to be a little bit more gentle with themselves, go ahead and open the arms out to a shape of a T. Everyone can actually open their arms out to a shape of a T. Those that are going to be a bit more gentle, bring your knees in towards your chest and let your knees together fall all the way over to the left. Stack your knees and your feet. You'll look over to the right. Those of you that are going to challenge yourself in coming out of your comfort zone, cross your right leg entirely over your left leg. You're crossing your legs. And then you're going to shift your hips slightly right, and you too will allow your knees to fall all the way over to the left. And then you'll look over to the right. It's said that when you resist fully experiencing, say, anxiety, fear, grief, or helplessness, you deny the experience of their opposites, peace, courage, joy, and confidence. When you experience only one half of a pair of opposites, grief, for instance, but not joy, anger, but not calm, or shame, but not confidence, you'll remain stuck in your one-sided encounter. And you become unstuck when you open to experiencing opposites of both feelings and emotion. So for today's practice, Welcome your feelings of pain or discomfort, and then invite their opposites, pleasure and comfort, into your body. If you experience the emotion of anger or helplessness, then explore the opposite of calm and confidence. The intention is that we'll practice on the four corners of the mat so that when you're in your daily life and you experience sadness, despair, or fear, then you'll explore their opposites of happiness, joy, and courage. And this is what's going to enable you to be connected to yourself. So today, welcome opposites of your experience so you can directly experience the core part of yourself, wholeness. Go ahead and bring your knees to the center. Those in the bound legs, you'll shift your hips to center and uncross the legs. Everyone hug knees into chest. Hands to knees, shins, or maybe behind the legs. Rock side to side, left to right. Those of you that are going to do your best to try not push yourself. Everyone, as the arms extend out, those that are gentle, knees and feet stack, you'll let your knees fall to the right. Those of you that often play it safe, cross your left leg over the right leg, shift your hips slightly left, and then let your knees fall all the way over to the right as you look to the left. Tune into the quality of your breath as opposed to the short, shallow, irregular chest breathing we can become accustomed to. For today's practice, I want you to challenge yourself to have the opposite breath. A whole body, slow, rhythmic breath. Your breath is deeper and fuller than it normally is. Let's explore the opposites of feeling. What's the opposite of discomfort? The opposite of being lethargic? The opposite of being alert? The opposite of awake? Take 3 deep breaths. Now you'll bring your knees to the center. If your legs are crossed, shift the hips to center and crossing legs. Everyone hug knees into chest. Now, if you're trying to be gentle or gentle with yourself, you'll plant your feet to the floor and come into a reclined butterfly. Soles of the feet together, knees fall out, your hands are comfortable for you. If you're trying to do a little bit more, you'll find yourself in happy baby, grabbing the inside, outside soles of your feet. You can grab a hold of your ankles, your shins. You can even rest your hands to the inside of the legs. The knees come out wide, and you can stay still or you can rock side to side. Now, in happy baby, the tailbone is forward, and in opposition, the crown of the head is back. Your tailbone comes down, and your chest, it will lift up. Let's acknowledge the opposites of emotion. Emotions such as confident, what's the opposite of anxious? The opposite of responsive. The opposite of insecure. Feelings, they're physical sensations that make up your emotions. They can be things such as cool, warm, rough, smooth. And emotions, they're physical states that arise in response to circumstances. Courageous, fearful, calm, anxious, peaceful, angry. What's the opposite of the emotion? Fearless. Or flexible. In either position you found yourself in, you're going to come to bring your knees into your chest. Find your release with the knees hugged into chest. And with your hands wrapped around your knees or shins or behind the legs, you're going to begin to rock and roll forward and backwards the length of your mat. If this is uncomfortable, you're more than welcome to turn your weight to a side and come to a seat, coming into all fours, a tabletop posture. Come into child's pose. Knees out wide, big toes touch, hips to heels, forehead to ground. Option to have your palms face down or turn your palms to face up. Welcome the environment and the sounds around you. and the touch of air on your skin. The sensations where your body touches the surface that's supporting it. And the feeling of your body breathing itself. The following practice is going to help address the opposites of emotion. Welcome an emotion that's present in your body. If no emotion is present, be with what most calls your attention right now. Where and how do you feel this emotion in your body? Are there thoughts or images that accompany this emotion? Now locate an opposite of this emotion. Where and how do you experience this opposite in your body? Now move back and forth between these opposites, experiencing the first one, then its opposite at your own pace. Sensing how each emotion impacts your body and your mind. And now I want you to sense both emotions at the same time. Experience how this impacts your entire body and mind. Sense how you're the observer of all that's now present in your awareness. Awake and aware of all that's present. Sensations, thoughts, images. Affirm to yourself that I am aware and awake, practicing yin yoga, welcoming opposites of emotion, and being with everything just as it is. Go ahead and come to rise yourself up onto your hands and your knees, a tabletop posture. So if you're trying to allow yourself just to become more restful, you'll come into melting heart, meaning you'll keep your hips over the knees, scoop your tailbone up, and you'll walk your hands forward, letting your chest come towards the ground, the sides of the body descend towards the floor. And the forehead will rest to ground. If you're weaving in a bit more movement, find yourself with wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and cat-cow. On your inhale, you'll lift your chest and look up. On your exhale, you'll round in the spine and press the floor away. I'll do one more with you. You'll dip your navel, lift your chest, breathe in and look up. Chin to chest, tuck the tailbone under, arch in the back. Go ahead and take a few rounds on your own. Wherever you're at, become aware of the quality of your breath. Now, those of you that are in cat-cow, feel free to weave in creative movement. You could bend in the elbows and kind of like a dryer. You can kind of find this barrel, I guess. Dipping the navel towards the ground, bending the elbows, rounding in the back. And if that's where you're at and it's comfortable, change to the opposite direction. For those in movement, you'll come to tabletop. If you're a melting heart as well, you'll walk your hands in. So wrists are underneath the shoulders. Fan out your fingers. Your pointer fingers are at 12 o'clock. Solid in the fingers. Tuck the toes. We're going to come into the active posture of downward facing dog. So as you lift your hip creases up and back, just find some organic movement here. Pedal out your feet. Move your hips side to side. Now we're going to come into ragdoll. So you can either walk your feet forward, you can walk your hands back, you can meet in the middle. In ragdoll, 2/5 could fit in between your feet. You're just dangling here, letting your arms straight. So the top of your head comes towards the floor, but your sit bones, they're lifted up towards the sky. If this is too much for your low back, dangling here, hands can also come to opposite elbows. Bend your knees and rest your forearms onto the thighs. You could still let your head hang. Feel free to stay still or rock side to side or shake out the heavy head. Welcome any feelings or emotions that arise. And then explore its opposite. Come to release your hands to the ground. Deeply bend in your knees. Return to all fours. Tabletop. This time, let your thighs come together. Sit all the way up to stack your shoulders over your hips. And then shift your weight to a side and swing your legs forward in front of you. So again, options. These are just suggestions. You work with what you want. In a way, I'm kind of having you question your norm and do the opposite. And if you just stick to what you're used to, just allow yourself to acknowledge why. So you'll keep the right leg extended long. This might also be due to the compromising of the knee. Those of you that want a little bit more and are trying to push yourself out of the comfort zone, you'll come into half heroes. You'll shift your weight to the right, you'll bend in the knee, and you'll bring your ankle towards your hip. And then you'll fold forward and down. Now, this might compromise your knee, and or you're working on being just gentler with yourself. You'll find the tree pose legs, where you'll tuck the sole of your foot into your inner thigh. Everyone will relax the extended leg and then fold forward here. This welcoming of the opposites of emotion and feelings, it's a tool that can help you in your life. It's intended to empower you to meet each moment of your life, no matter how challenging or difficult, to help support you to deal with and heal your emotions and thoughts, and recover resiliency and joy. I'll speak for myself. This week, I've been using this a lot, and it has been immensely helpful. Just recognizing what's coming up, particularly those thoughts that are non supportive, and then trying to flip it around to experience its opposite. Maybe you yourself are already experiencing how powerful this is. Now go ahead and come to sit up to stack shoulders over the hips. For those in the half heroes, you can go ahead and just stay where you are. Those of you that are in this shape, being more gentle and I guess calmer in these shapes, find yourself in a butterfly pose. So you can slide your heels a hand and a half away from the pelvic floor and fold forward and down. For those in half heroes, the option is to bend the right knee so the shin is parallel to the top of the mat and prepare for half pigeon. So you would lift up so that the left leg's extended long, the right knee comes to the outer of the hand. The left and the right hip are in line. And then you can fold forward and down. The book I'm referencing is the iRest program for healing, written by Richard C. Miller, PhD. He says, just as it takes time to strengthen a muscle when working out at the gym, it takes time to strengthen your ability to welcome and respond to your feelings and emotions. So take your time. Hopefully, today this is helping you just to identify opposites of feeling and emotion. How's the quality of your breath? Those that are in the half pigeon, bring your hands to the ground and lifting your chest up. Turn your weight to the right, swing your left leg forward. And then you'll come into half heroes, shifting your weight to the left and bringing, as you bend in the knee, your heel towards your hip and fold forward and down. Those in butterfly, extend the left leg, tuck the sole of the right foot in, and as well hinge forward and down. Allow your attention to wander through your body. And be aware and welcome feelings that are present. Perhaps the feeling of warmth or coolness, or the feeling of heaviness or lightness. Perhaps comfort or discomfort, or feelings of tension and of being at ease. Without changing anything, just simply welcome feelings that are present just as they are. Now locate and move between opposite feelings. If you're sensing warmth, find coolness. If heaviness, sense lightness. If comfort, then discomfort. If tension, then ease. Without going into thinking, just experience the feeling that's currently present. Then come back to the original feeling. Then feel its opposite again. Moving back and forth between opposites at your own pace. Now perceive both opposites at the same time. Experience how perceiving opposites at the same time acts on your entire body and mind, not the thinking mind, just sensing, just experiencing. If you're in a half hero pose, come to sit all the way up. Bend your knees so that the shin is parallel to the top of the mat. Begin to extend the right leg long, preparing for half pigeon. You'll prop yourself up, extending the right leg long so that the ankle is in line with the hip. When you're ready, you'll fold forward and down. Those in the sitting tree legs, as you'll stack shoulders over hips and extend the right leg, you'll come into a wide straddle. So you can turn like I. You can push yourself a little bit forward, relaxing the legs, and then come forward and down. So hopefully, because of this theme, you'll take it with you into your life, putting this in your toolbox. And the opposite of short, shallow breaths, take 3 of your deepest breaths. The inhale becomes really deep, and the exhale slow. Whatever shape you're in, you'll gently come out of it. So those in a wide straddle, legs will come together. Those in a half pigeon, you'll too find yourself shifting to extend both legs forward, taking a seat and then massage in the legs. Now go ahead and come to scoot forward and lie all the way down onto your back, creating space in your body. Let your ankles come in as wide as your mat. Let your arms come a bit away. Palms will turn to face up. Bring your awareness to your body and welcome your inner resource, your felt sense of well-being, ease, security, and feeling grounded. Relax and let go into being at ease throughout your entire body and mind. Allow your eyes to open and close several times while feeling yourself in deep relaxation, ease, and well-being, the opposite of being tense and stressed. Now, for those trying to take it easy, stay here. Those of you that brought in a bit more movement, Go ahead and rock your head side to side, left to right. And gently come to make your way into a full body stretch. Bring your legs together, reach your arms back. Point your toes, fingertips, reach the opposite way. Take a full inhale. And you can have an open mouth exhale. Bring your knees into your chest and roll to a side, left or right side, into a fetal position. And then use your top hand to press into the ground to lift yourself all the way up into an easy cross-legged. And as you do so, let your arms rest by your sides. Turn the palms to face forward. Inhale, reach the arms over your head, fill up. Palms join, bring your hands down through your midline to heart. Do that 2 more times. Release your arms. Inhale, circle overhead, reach up, sit bones press down. Hands to heart, exhale. Take the last one on your own. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. From my heart to yours, we bring our thumbs to forehead and we bow together and we say, Namaste.